Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 58. I'm your host, Angelo, as always, and thank you for telling a friend and sharing the podcast and checking out the YouTube channel. I got a couple more subscribers since the last episode, so the more the merrier. And say hello to Bob, my cat, who decided to jump onto my desk in the middle of this podcast. So there hasn't been much that has happened since the last episode. Only a couple games came out. I haven't really played many early access games. All right, come on, Bob, down. All right, that's good. Yeah, I've only played a couple games since the last episode. Mainly, it's been a lot of Destiny 2.0, which is the new expansion. Not expansion. It's the lead-in to the Taken King. So I know this is about indie games and everything, but do want to keep it relevant to video gaming in general. And I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2.0, which is the patch that they put out leading into the Taken King expansion. And what they did was it got rid of the light system. Well, it didn't really get rid of it. It kind of changed it in a way that didn't really get rid of the light system. What happened was all they did was establish that they don't know how to make an MMO. Bungie seems to have this notion that they can recreate the wheel, and decided in the first place that they were going to create this light system, cap you at level 20, and then to get above level 20 to play content that went literally 30% over that, you needed to increase this with the light system, which was an arbitrary system that they decided to make all the equipment have a light level, and that's what actually boosted your level over 20 all the way up to 34. So what they did was, with this patch, is they removed that leveling system. So now you can actually level to level 34 through experience just from playing the game and killing enemies and whatnot, like you would in a traditional MMO. However, they still keep the light system in there in a way that is still arbitrary and kind of stupid. So, for instance, in World of Warcraft, with the light system, with their leveling system, all your items have an eye level. So the higher the eye level, the better the item is, and your overall equipment is what dictates your power level after the level cap. The way they're doing it is that all of your gear score is aggregated into a light level. Now your light level is what dictates your damage and your defense output. So all the gear now, instead of a light level, has a defense number and then the damage number from your guns. They are basically just all added together, divided, and that's what gives you your light level, which also gives you your defense and your attack power. It's kind of stupid. I understand what they're going for, but if you're going to go to a more traditional experience-based leveling system, you might as well just go all the way in. And just make it so the items actually equate to the level you are, and then figure out, just an item cap, like an eye level, like WoW has done for the past decade. They paved the way for MMOs of the future, and you decided to eschew it to try to make it your own, and then you abandoned that. Like, I like the light system, I like the idea of it. It was a little bit different, but then they leave that behind to just make an even more arbitrarily weird mechanic. I just don't understand it. However, everything that they've done so far in the patch has been great. I've only been playing for about a month, and because I bought the Taken King Special Edition, the Collector's Edition, for $80. I talked about it in a previous episode, and it's been totally worth it. I've had a lot of fun with it. For me, it's been well worth my money. Totally worth checking out. And the patch has added some cool stuff. I've actually, gotten my first exotic weapon, and there's just been a lot of cool stuff with it. So, if you've been hesitant to check out Destiny, I would totally recommend picking it up now. For the entry fee of only $80, you have all the content. You have both, DLCs to work your way through. and then you have the Taken King expansion coming out, which, from what I understand, should ostensibly double the content that's in the game right now, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, other than that, I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3 still. My Witch Doctor is on, I think, Greater Rift 47 right now. So I'm just trucking through, trying to get. I'm like, that's for those of you who don't play Diablo. Torment 10, I think, is 40. The Greater Rift level 40. So anything over Torment 10 is the highest that you can actually play. Anything over that is progressively harder, and you have to beat those Greater Rifts in order as you go to get deeper and deeper. I think as of recording this, I think the highest that has been finished by at least a Witch Doctor, I haven't checked the other classes, has been 67. So I'm quite a ways off from there, but I don't think I will ever get to that point of commitment to Diablo. But I have put a lot of time in it since the new season. They've done a lot of really cool stuff with Diablo as well. The most recent patch with Kanai's Cube has added just such depth to the game. They added back in the cow level, so now you get to fight the Cow Queen. Sorry, spoilers if you didn't know that. If you put the Bovine Bardiche into the Kanai's Cube, it opens up a portal to a not the cow level. And also, if you put a puzzle ring, these are both legendary drops, but if you put a puzzle ring into the cube as well, it will open up to the vault, the treasure goblin vault, which is pretty awesome. It's just different ways to get into those areas, because normally you'd have to kill a treasure goblin outside of a rift and to get into the vault, and you'd have to have the random luck that they actually spawn that portal. So now you also have an added chance of finding a ring and using it to go into the vault. I love Diablo, and I think they keep adding on to that game in ways that just make it interesting and unique, in just ways that I just didn't think that game could progress. From where it started with the cash shop and the auction house to where it is today, I think game in 2 years, it's just super impressive. And I can't talk enough about how well Blizzard takes their products and really listens to the fans and adds in things that we want. It really is impressive. Like, if you play any Blizzard game, you can tell that they really take to heart what everybody has to say about their product, and it shows. I mean, you just look at the progression of Diablo over the last 2 years. Like, it started off where, like, it was super negative. I mean, the core concept of Diablo 3 was there in the beginning, and then over time it just kind of got, like, better, like, progressively better. Every update, every patch that they did from launch has just been amazing. And I just hope that they announce another expansion for this title and don't jump right to Diablo 4, because I'm enjoying Diablo 3 as it is now. I'd like to see, like, a new expansion with a new character class maybe and another act. But they might announce Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty positive that it is a strong possibility that will happen. And let me see, when is BlizzCon coming up? Are they doing they're doing a BlizzCon this year, right? I believe they are. Yeah, November. So I mean, we're more than likely to see either a Diablo expansion or an announcement for Diablo 4, which is pretty impressive. Sorry for skipping all over the place here, between Destiny and Diablo, because I haven't played any indie or early access games since the last episode. I did write the review for Super Cane Magic Zero, though, so if you want to go check that out on the website, that's there for you to check out. So now that brings me to the main topic of this episode, And if you see the title, it's "For fuck's sake, Steam, get it together." I really wanted to say "For fuck's sake, Steam, get your fucking shit together," but I can't put that into the title of the podcast before I post it to iTunes. So, if you remember early on in the podcast when I started, there was this game called Quest Event by this developer / publisher called Fivang, developer publisher air quotes, and they developed. Well, it's one person made an RPG using RPG Maker that just didn't work. I was just starting. I wasn't getting keys to games to review, so I decided to buy it. And it was completely broken. And after doing a little research about the game, I found out that the guy had abandoned the game prior to the launch of the game because probably just gave up on it. Found out that the game had become greenlit and decided to jump back on, put it onto Steam Early Access, and started selling it, even though he had said that the game was going to be free. Over the course of the last, I want to say 6 months or so, nothing has happened with the game. He made one update that basically removed a stopgap because I complained about it because you got to a point in the game and it literally made you wait for I don't even remember if let me see my review is the first one up here. Let me see. I think it was an hour. Yeah, it made you wait an hour, like a physical, like a literal hour not in-game time, an actual hour to progress the quest. I wasn't waiting for that to happen, and then he had changed that to a quest line that just couldn't be finished. So that's all that's happened basically in the last 6 months. Well, somebody had commented on my review from back in March. That was the last time I had done anything with it, was back in March. So, I lie. I actually updated it a few months back because when they did that update, when he did that update, I updated it because I went and checked it out because somebody had mentioned that he had updated the game, and I wanted to see exactly what he updated, and it was nothing. So I had gone back today because I saw that somebody had commented on it, and the person brought to my attention that the developer was stopping development on their unfinished game. So this was posted on the 6th of September. And in very truncated form, it says, "We're no longer updating this title." And the reason why they're not updating this title is because they said they got a lot of negative feedback, and they decided to take the negative feedback seriously. Or, as they put it, very seriously. And so they're taking that negative feedback and they're taking it seriously to update the game to a new engine and resell it. So now they're saying that there's Quest Event 3D. So they're moving away from RPG Maker into Unity. I don't understand what the fuck that is. So they stopped production on a game that's unfinished, and by unfinished I mean it was never really started. It's like an intro level, and you can run around a couple buildings and complete a quest. For 6 months, this is all that's been done to this game. You can complete like I think 1 or 2 quests, and then it kind of just breaks. There's no actual like fighting or skills. I mean, they say there's skills, but it's like you can build a fire out of some fucking logs. It's a load of shit. So you can do that if you want to. However, there's no actual content to this game. So, okay, so that pisses me off, right? So this guy who didn't finish the game in the first place waited 2 years from 2013 to 2015 to even put it on Steam because it got greenlit without him knowing it, and then he found out and he was like, oh, I guess I'll capitalize. So he did that, sold it for $5 even though it was supposed to be free, and then he's going to cancel it and put it back out on a different engine without actually proving that he has the ability to make a game, and Steam's going to let that happen. This is where I reiterate, for fuck's sake, Steam, get your shit together. There is too many games. There's not too many games. There's just a handful of games that are shitting all over the early access program, and this is a prime example. They shouldn't be allowed to exist on the Steam marketplace. They shouldn't be allowed to post games on the marketplace, and you should really be coming down on developers like this company. The kicker is that I noticed when I was polling new games for the podcast, new games that had come out since the last episode, I noticed that this game actually moved from early access into a completed fucking title. So it is right now on Steam under new releases as a finished product. There is no more early access moniker. It is just being sold for $5 as a finished title. For fuck's sake. Like, how does that even happen? I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know who to go to. I wouldn't even know who to email, because, you know, Steam is this close-knit group that you can't actually contact. Everything's through like a ticket system, and then they just spit back some automatic generated fucking email. So there's no way to actually contact anybody. I tweeted at them and it was, like, brought the game to their attention, but I'm sure it's just going to get brushed under the rug like most stuff. But this kind of shit just can't happen. Like, this company is documented in failing to finish a fucking title, then releasing it in early access anyway, failing to do anything for 6 months. Then they are allowed to switch it from early access into a release and sell it as a released, finished game. And blatantly in their description, like in their updates, say, we're done updating this game because of the negative feedback, and we're going to go make it again in 3D, and Steam's not going to do shit. I'm disgusted, and I wasted enough time on this podcast with it, but I know I'm going to have to talk about it again at some point in the future, because I know at some point Quest Event 3D is going to happen, and I'm going to have to talk about it, because it's going to be just as shit as this, and I'm going to make sure that I talk about it so no one plays that fucking game. But I can't. I mean, I don't have a big enough following, and I wish I had a bigger following to warn people from playing this game, because I know that other people have purchased this game. Even though the review I posted has 900 upvotes out of 1,000 altogether. There's still some people that fell into the trap of buying this game and got sucked into it, and it really pisses me off. But whatever. I can't do anything about it. All I can do is warn the people that listen to me, and write the reviews to get the word out against that company and against that game. I just don't want to see anybody spend money on a game that isn't going to be finished. So we're just going to leave it at that. One other news thing, jumping off of that, I did just find out that I can actually finally confirm that I have been playing Gigantic. I can't post any videos yet. We're not allowed to post any videos or stream the game yet, but I can tell you that it is a really interesting take on the MOBA. The graphic design, art style is really cool. The controls are really cool. The way that they're trying to basically reinvent that genre is awesome. It plays really well, especially with a controller, surprisingly. I did get a little bit of time with it on the Xbox since they went into the beta on the Xbox, and it plays really well with the controller. It feels intuitive the way it works. Of course, my Xbox picked me up when I said Xbox. It just actually works really well. There's mechanics in it that make it different from other MOBAs. It reminds me more of Smite than it does, say, League of Legends, but it's still a little bit bigger than that. And not to be a pun or anything, but it feels gigantic. The battles in the game between the two sides, the monsters that they're using, the gigantic monsters that they're using, it actually feels epic. It's a really cool game. It feels good. It plays well. It's a really well done, rethought MOBA experience, and I think people are going to really enjoy it, and I can't wait to actually get out there and get some videos up for you guys to check out when they lift that portion of the NDA. And I will be having some beta keys to give away. They said by the end of the week I'll have 4. So keep an eye out for that. Go follow me on Twitter, Early Access PC. That's where I will be posting the contests for that. Alright, so let's jump into the new releases. There's been 4 that I grabbed. Actually, this one's not a new release, but I just wanted to point out it came out. Revenge, Rhobar's Myth. It's a pretty bland open world 3D, not open world, but it's a 3D RPG. It's pretty bland. I just wanted to point out that they left early access. I really don't know if it's any good. I played a little bit of it, and it was broken to the point where I couldn't even post the video for it. So actually, I might have posted the video for it, and it broke towards the end. I couldn't finish something. But if you really want to check it out and gamble your $14, go check it out, but I would not recommend it at all, unfortunately. Alright, so the first game that released, though, I will point out, is this game called Shift Happens. And this actually looks pretty cool, and actually brings up another topic that I wanted to talk about real quick, is local co-op. So Shift Happen, let's see, it's got 5 reviews, all positive. It is $12.59, 10% off, so it's $14 usually, and it's a 2-player co-op game where you're switching between characters to solve puzzles. It looks really cool. It's got a great art style. However, local co-op on a PC, does anybody actually do it? I'd really like to know. And if you do, tweet at me, Early Access PC on Twitter, or send an email to the podcast, email at earlyaccesspodcast.com. I really want to know if you guys are at home, like, inviting friends over and playing local co-op on your PC. I just don't think enough people are doing it, that it makes it a kind of a dead format for the PC, playing local multiplayer. I don't know anybody that even does it on the consoles that much anymore. You know, this isn't the N64 era. Everybody's connected to the internet. There's a reason why multiplayer online is so popular. It's because we don't need to sit in the same room anymore. And I don't think a lot of people want to. But it does look cool. So if you do have a friend that you do this with, I would go check it out. You know, you don't have a lot of experiences like that play well for local co-op. So if it plays well and it seems to do that, it looks pretty cool. So go check that out. Alright, this next game actually sounds pretty interesting, and the concept of it is interesting as well. So this game is called Storymode, a game about crafting. Has 3 positive reviews. 3 reviews, all positive. It's $5, which I really like, and it's this interesting take on the roguelike adventure RPG. So you're an adventurer, maybe. So basically, you're crafting things. Let me see. It's hard to explain because the video is not really too specific. So it says a crafting goddess, Joanne, wants a slave to make things for her in a satirical roguelike about crafting. It sounds super interesting. It's a take on a roguelike that I've never heard before. And for $5, it seems totally worth it. It's got an interesting art style. It's a little like black and white pixel art style. If it works, it sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know. It's just something interesting on that whole like, I'm not a hero. I'm the crafter mechanic. You know, it's been popping up a lot with Holy Potatoes, and there was another game similar to that where you're not the hero but you're the crafter, or the blacksmith or something. So it is pretty interesting. This next game I'm just gonna gloss over. It's got 6 reviews, 83% positive. It's $4, and it's called Nuclear Shot, and it's a block first-person shooter. You know, if you're into that shit, go check it out. And actually, that's the only other game that I have for you guys. So that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter, Early Access PC. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Early Access Podcast on YouTube. Go check out the Instagram. I just started it last week. It's Early Access on Instagram. Go like the Facebook page. I basically, every time I post anything, it goes to Facebook first before it goes to Twitter, so you can get into that there. Other than that, Amazon link, bottom of the website. Bookmark it, use it whenever you buy anything. It's the best way to help out the show. But thank you, Alphas, and until next time, this is Angelo for Early Access Podcast and Early Access Media, and, you know, just like, fuck bad developers. I don't know, because video games. I'll see you guys next time.